Yo, 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 we are back. But today is a duo. It's me, Big Daddy, Eshaun, Rhodesia. Matt is on assignment somewhere doing something. I told Rhodesia earlier today, I told Matt, I am all out of sorts. I've been so busy. I have 108 missed text messages that are just straight unread. I do have Apple AI, so I kind of have a gist of what the conversations are.
But you still got to read the Apple AI, though.
Sometimes I don't read the Apple AI. So
Oh,
I have no idea that Rhodesia's been out of town. I have no idea where the hell Matt is or why he's not on the podcast today. I just was told last minute that the two of us was going on. And I said, yo, let's do it.
And guess what? And we get to do finally a 30-minute episode where we don't have to be forced to do longer.
Hey, but what's the chances that we go like 2 hours as normal?
No, we can't. We cannot. I don't have the mental capacity to go that long.
Rhodesia said before the show that she's been doing a little drinking, so she's feeling good right now.
So good.
You in Michigan, right?
I am in Michigan.
Back home to Michigan. Yep. Sis, let me tell you. So I was also in Michigan. My mom had knee surgery. I was very concerned, and
how was that?
I wanted to go down there. She's actually great, man. Like, she's better than great. Like, so this woman, let me tell you something right now. This woman, I'm not gonna give her age out because she's not gonna like that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, she's older than me, right? Mm-hmm. Older than me. This woman got her walker. This woman is bent over doing cartwheels on this thing because she had cataract surgery, so now she has like 20/25 vision. You know what I'm saying? She got super vision. She can see like the specks on the ground. She bent all the way over, picking up specks. And I'm like, woman, what are you doing? If you don't stand up and go sit your butt down, I'm like, what's up with you older people to where y'all just won't sit down? That was me. If my knee got cut into and a plate got installed, I'm down for months.
Of course,
I'm crying to Katrina, baby, pull me to the side, baby. Bring me some juice, baby. Bring me some ice. I'm not getting up doing no cartwheels on no rocker.
Well, that's because you're a guy. Sorry, gotta admit that. That's the honest truth. Damn. And it's Mama E. Mama E, she ain't holding y'all up. She got shit she got to do. So if she got to pick up that on the ground, she gonna do it.
Man, look. Oh, speaking of drinks, though, Rhodesia. So, our friend Darnell had invited us to like this drink tasting contest downtown in the Eastern Market. Really cool spot, right? Growing and sexy. And so it was like $50, right? And you got 10 tickets.
Okay, no, that's not bad. That's
right.
Not bad.
So you got like a nice size, like glass cup, and you go out and they have like these little like water things. You can kind of rinse it out, right? So you go to different vendors and they had different drinks, right, available. Nice place, right? Man, I went over to the first spot.
And you got lit.
Man, I was so
You got lit. You got lit.
I was gone.
They pointed at you and laughed because they were like, "Yep, we got our money off of him, off of your first drink."
At one point we went in line to get another drink. Well, actually, I went with Alfonso, our good friend Fonz, and he got a drink. And then the young lady asked me, "She's like, hey, would you like something?" I'm like, "Man, I can't take another drink right now." And so she's like, "Okay, she's like, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, why are you asking?" Now look, Fonz is gone. I don't know how long this man been gone, but I'm just literally standing there and I'm like staring way off into space. So we had 10 tickets and I'm like, man, that ain't a lot. $50 for 10 tickets. I literally had like 6 or 7 tickets left.
Well, that's pretty good then, because again, if you were already feeling it after the first one, then you were good. Speaking of drinks, I had been a little bit sick over this last week, and so I had my first glass of wine on Monday or Tuesday, which was yesterday. Went out to the little balcony that we have here at this hotel, and after my first glass, I was done. I'm like, okay, no. I think I'm about to go in the room and just go to sleep the next day.
I thought you were about to say you threw up over the balcony.
Oh no. Mm-mm. I can't do that. I think the last time I did that was in my 30s.
Oh Lord. Well, that wasn't that long ago. Hey, let's introduce the pod. This is episode 197.
3 away from 200.
197 on another code.
200 gonna be off the hook, y'all. 200 gonna be off the hook.
Hopefully, I mean, because hopefully Apple AI doesn't fail me, and I actually read what we're doing for 200. So I'm very looking forward. I'm never gonna probably have friends and family on the show, so that should be a great pod. But let's talk about today's pod though, real quick. Let's get into let's go in order. I know you said you had a couple of things for SmackDown. I saw a few things on SmackDown. I was one thing that I really enjoyed was Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. And then my girl Naomi came on at the end. I know you had some, concern on her character and direction after losing at WrestleMania. What did you think about that match in particular, Rhodesia?
Is that when Naomi was doing a crazy hump and fighting? And I'm like, what the fuck is she doing right now?
She was drunk too. We all was.
No, like real talk. I was thinking to myself, because I was actually sick in the room. When I saw it, I'm like, am I just high off of my Zyrtec D? Or is she really doing that? When I saw on the Twitter or on X, people were talking about it. I'm like, okay. I don't know. I don't remember that part of the match. You talking about for Tiffy or for Naomi?
The whole thing. What'd you think about because we had a nice long Jade Cargill match with Tiff hot off WrestleMania. How'd you think they performed?
Nope, didn't even watch that match. Couldn't even tell you. Did you think that it was? Evidently, was it probably at least a good 9-minute match, right?
Yeah,
it was a 3-hour SmackDown, so it probably was.
Yeah, because I know it was a lot. We had a lot of conversation, months ago on Jade Cargill, and that was a big topic going online in the wrestling community was Jade progressing in the ring and where she needed to be at this point. And I think that she's proven a lot of people wrong. I think that she's actually, not to say that she's like Charlotte Flair in that ring, but I think she's very competent in the ring and she can tell a decent story. I always thought that's what it was. I'm like, as long as she can be competent in the ring, right? She don't have to be, Luthez in there and nothing like that, but she can just tell a story in the match, you know what I'm saying, and drive character. I thought she'd be all right. And I think she did that in that match. I think Tiffany also earlier in the promo came out and kind of gave like a little bit of a statement too, after her win on Charlotte Flair. And then again, Naomi coming at the end, getting some heat back on Jade, pouncing, looking on the way she can look. Hey, have you seen any of her stuff on Twitter or X?
Is it outside of what we see on SmackDown or her vignettes on SmackDown?
Yeah.
So no, I've only ever seen Naomi's stuff on SmackDown.
And this woman, God bless her. I love Naomi. I'll always be a fan forever. This woman is reposting pictures of her and little kids hugging because they dressed up in the caution tape, and she's just giving them a hug and saying, "Oh, you are so beautiful," and she's just being a total heel, like, right? "Oh, you kids are so beautiful."
You don't think she's speaking from the heart?
Huh?
She's speaking from the heart?
She is. I'm saying, okay. I'm like, oh, it's all kayfabe with her at the signing. She is not MJF at all. She ain't playing the heel. She being her true self. I love her though, man. Like, I'm glad that she's actually getting that shine, man. I kind of want I want a championship win from her going back into SmackDown.
Yeah.
Are you surprised that Selena Vega?
So I'll be honest with you. Now, remember when I told y'all that I watched Dynamite Battle of the Belts like 5 times? You remember that, right? When I said that. So I went and watched, again, I pulled up YouTube TV. I told you I'm not at home. So I pulled it up and I was watching the wrong episode. So I had to come back to it again because on the internet, I was like, I saw that Zelina is now the new one. And the rumor is she won the championship from Chelsea because now she's going to bring it down with AAA, all that stuff again. And I'm like, that wasn't the episode that I watched. And that's probably why I didn't see this Naomi or this Jade and Tiffany's match, because I didn't watch the real episode. So when I first saw that, I'm like, oh my God, I think I just missed it. And it was a segment between the two that I watched that happened. I think when Chelsea didn't get a match on WrestleMania, it probably told me what I needed to know, that it didn't matter for her to be on WrestleMania because it wasn't going to be a factor going forward. Again, that's just me thinking in my head, and it's hindsight is 2020. That's what I thought. So when she won it, I'm like, first I was in disbelief, like, did she drop it at a house show or something? Because I didn't see it. And then when I saw that it was between 2 segments that I catched on SmackDown, I'm like, okay, so if it's for AAA or if it's for not, now it made sense why Chelsea was not on WrestleMania.
I know it was like news online when they made the announcement Triple H. I honestly don't care. I mean, I don't like. That might be a big deal for Mexico or whatever. And if that relates to Chelsea dropping. I'm like, I thought they were kind of pushing her, right? They gave her a cabinet, right? She got some funkies. I thought she was doing a great job as champion, as a heel champion. I was really surprised that they went with Selena because I like Selena as well. Am I saying it right?
Zelina.
Yeah. So I can get that.
Just like just like Tiffany Stratus, she's killing it.
Tiffany Stratus.
That's what you call her every time, Tiffany Stratus.
That's her name.
It ain't her name.
That's her name.
It ain't.
Yeah, it was Selena. I think she's been kind of cold.
I'm gonna just say it, right? I've had some drinks. It goes back to when someone is very tiny. And I'm not body shaming her. I'm just saying tiny. When you are very small and tiny with a championship, you have to have a super loud, big personality, character that people can actually hang on to. Now, yes, she comes out with the big wings and she has all of the optics of a big character. But I think when she got affiliated with LWO, it brought her stake down. And again, that's only for me. Now, again, some people might say, Rhodesia, you're the stupidest person on this planet. But for me, I'm like, you became an afterthought within LWO. So yes, she looks fantastic. Body's incredible, beautiful, big angel wings when she comes out. But to me, her personality, her height to me was when they were at Backlash or No Way Out, whichever it was last year. Was it last year or the year before in Puerto Rico? And that was like, to me, her height. I don't think it's necessarily her fault. I just think that's just how she's booked and how H has booked the women's division. But for me, I just feel like her being the women U.S. champion off of Chelsea, that's a huge shadow to try to fill. Literally and figuratively.
Time to tell. What did you have from the show?
So for me, I had just two big things. One, again, they were not holding you up between John Cena and Randy Orton. That from the moment after WrestleMania, we had that feud started. I'm excited to see that. I'm happy that so far since WrestleMania, every show has had Orton and Cena, some interaction between the two of them. So I'm happy to see that. I like the kind of interaction that Orton was able to his promo in the ring against John Cena. John Cena's starting to become again back that I know you said you're not going to add to John Cena talk, but back to kind of a cheesy, but I'm okay with it. I'm there with it. Again, in my mind, now that I know that Rock had no intentions on being there, then I can go back to enjoying this character heel turn of John Cena. But we have to, well, before I get to this, Bianca, it sounds like because she broke her finger, she might be gone for a while. The while could be a week. The while could be a longer. Could be wilding. We don't quite know. But that main event that we had in that 6-man tag, it was a TLC match, I think. And it was like the first TLC match they had on TV in like 5 years or something. That was supposed to be on WrestleMania. That was it. That was the match that we deserved on WrestleMania. And kudos to those 6 men because they were like, you know what? We didn't make Mania. That's fine. But I'm going to show you this is what we can do in the ring together. I was so I think it went 2 or 3 segments, that match. So I did see that. So maybe I did watch actually Smackdown. But I did see that part. And I was kind of just mind blown. TLC matches to me sometimes can be chaos that I love or chaos that is just like gimmicky. It was absolutely chaos that I love. And to me, that was a WrestleMania TLC match. Did you see it? And then how do you feel about it?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I actually fell asleep on it. Not because it was boring. I just was exhausted.
It's a long show.
Yeah, I just exhausted at certain points. But I will say enough of what I saw and the popular feedback on the match that definitely we could, if you want to take out a tag match, I'd rather have that match versus New Day and the War Raiders. The Raiders aren't over, unfortunately. I think New Day are, but they need some tag teams to kind of vibe with. And that match, just from a athleticism standpoint, would have been something that would have shined on that show. Maybe they didn't want that hot of a match on WrestleMania. Maybe they felt like that was going to overshadow something. I don't know.
Right? You have to follow that at some point.
Yeah. Maybe that. But I feel like that could have been an opener for night 1. Oh, I'm sorry, night 2. Well, no, we had a great opener on night 2.
Yeah, which was a women's match.
Then we had Jey Uso winning. night one, right?
So maybe you're right. Maybe there just was no spot to have that.
Yeah, but it definitely, if you want to look on pen and paper, you definitely can replace a number of matches with that one, and I think we were better off for it. I think something they probably could have figured it out. Maybe they didn't. I don't know how they didn't think that match would be good. Like with the machine guns, like again, I don't think the machine guns are catching on in WWE, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's just it's what it is. To be 100%, like I don't like talking about teams and people or wrestlers that I like. I love the machine guns. Their prime was 10 years ago at the team. 10 years ago at the team. They were revolutionary 10, 15 years ago in TNA. You know, we've had the Young Bucks and other teams kind of come along and kind of give a similar dynamic. And man, you know, as a smaller guy, Rhodesia, let me tell you a story. I hate to say this on the line, on air. I hate to say this on air, man. I was talking to Ethan, my 11-year-old. We're at the dinner table, and I said something. I'm like, well, he asked me a question. I'm like, well, I said in the third person. I'm like, yeah, we know Big Daddy doesn't want to do X, Y, and Z. He goes, I don't think we're gonna call you Big Daddy anymore.
Turn that up, Ethan. Turn that up, Ethan.
He like, I seen other dads, and they're way bigger than you. I seen them.
Children will keep it 100 with you, no matter what. They will keep it honest with you.
He said, I seen other dads, and they're way bigger than you. It got me when he said, I seen them. I seen them.
You know what would have been worse? Is if he said, I seen them with the T on there. I seen them.
But the machine guns, yeah, they're like I think the machine guns are smaller than me. Do whatever, and like, you know, stand next to Johnny Gargano and Ciampa. I'm like, man, those aren't tall dudes either.
No.
So it's just like from an optics, you know, I think they're a little bit up there in age too. Like they're just not as dynamic as they were. However, they still can give you a good match. Johnny Wrestling and Ciampa can still go. The Profits, I don't know what they're doing with them as from a character standpoint, because they kind of came out angry and yelling, but they back to doing the old cup stuff. Yeah. So I don't. And they've been doing this with them for like a long time now.
A long time. It's almost like, I'm not going to make it racial at all, but it's about to come out that way. Do you not know how to push or book for a Black tag team? And I say that just because, again, it's almost like a lot of Black characters in their Blackness. They are larger than life. They have big personalities. That's just kind of just like how we are. That's how we rock and roll. That's kind of us as a culture. I wonder if they take that and use that like as only a face and don't know how to use that as a heel. Because if you look on the Twitter, they're serious on Twitter. They'll do little things where we're not playing around anymore. But then they come out and they just be everything they do. Exactly.
Yeah.
So someone who is a huge Street Profits fan, you are getting me, and you have been getting me. And I've been saying this for so long now. We all have. I don't know if I'm a rep for them because I love them. And we said Montez should have been a champion 3 years ago, singles champion. And we're kind of like, okay, all right, we'll just clap for them. Yeah, they did some great moves. They're athletic. We're going to fight for them to be on WrestleMania when they're not. But it's almost like, I don't know, are you a good guy or you're a bad guy? So it's really hard for them because every week when I think, oh yeah, they're about like the serious Seth that I used to say. When you're serious Seth, then when you know this jokester, then who are you? To me, I don't know what Street Profits are. Are you bad, serious guys? Or are you fun, happy, go lucky? Because I'm getting conflicting information. And it's okay a couple of times going back and forth because you're trying to figure out with the tag division on what you're going to do. But at a point, if I'm a huge fan, think about somebody who's not a huge fan. They just probably say, fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah. They got to pick and choose with them. But hey, you talked about Seth, serious Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Let's switch gears to Raw. I gotta tell you, Rhodesia, Seth is one of my top guys right now. Like he's one of my guys. He's one of my guys who I can turn on, and I enjoy his character. I love what they're doing with Heyman, Brian, and Seth. And Seth ain't come out there high, and he ain't doing all that cheesy shit. Now I heard the word in the street is that he rocking $14,000
robes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, probably it's something he only gonna wear once. That's when you rich folks got way too much money. Y'all are spending $14,000 for one night. Maybe he rented it though, right? Maybe it's a rental.
Could be, yep.
Yeah,
or on loan. Could have been on assignment.
Yeah, it's something like a loan, something like that. Like, cause he ain't wearing that out and about nowhere else. That's when you got way too much money. But what do you think about? And I don't think they have a name yet.
No, they don't.
They have a name. What do you think is the dynamic so far?
Let me just jump just a tiny bit to Raw, and then I'll tell you what I feel about them, because I still feel the exact same, because nothing has changed since our last episode as far as who they are, the people they have in it. Those people are still the same, so the dynamics are still the same. So I still am really happy with this. I think that we have a lot to be in store for with these group of people in the future ahead. My only problem was toward the end of Raw, when Seth was talking to Sami. And as y'all know, they presented Sami with the ability to leave town or forever hold your peace, right? And when Seth was in the ring talking to Sami before business was done, I'm thinking to myself, like, this was my only disconnect. Seth, why are you talking to Sami as if Sami asked for this? Like, if you go back and listen to what he's saying, like, Sami just was on the show minding his own goddamn on business. And Paul's like, you got to leave town. You got to either accept to go to Smackdown. Now, hey, you go to Smackdown, you're going to take the winner of Randy Orton and John Cena. Or you stay here and you stay here. And we all know what that meant at that point. But to me, it's just like, why are y'all coming at Sami? Sami never asked for this. So when Seth, toward the end, when Seth was in the ring with Sami talking, waiting for Sami's answer, I was just like, that was a tiny bit of a disconnect for me, because Sami never really asked for this. And now Seth's talking to him like he did. So that would be my only disconnect. Still love the group. Love that some work was done on Sami. And so now we know kind of what's next for Seth, Braun. We know kind of what's happening. We now have Sami in this situation. And I love how they talk about the bloodline. Is this another bloodline? He's like, no, the bloodline is done with. But again, we kind of talked about a couple episodes ago about having new faction and how the factions are needed. And again, I'm here for it. But I did say, like, Seth, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, Sami didn't even ask for this. I did think that.
I think part of it, and again, maybe in my mind, I'm like, fixing their story as I'm watching it. Right. That could be a case too. But I think part of it was like, yo, if you stay here, if you're not on board, you're gonna be getting in my way. So before you do, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
All right. So either you go do your own thing on SmackDown, I'm giving you a golden ticket, or I'm gonna fuck you up. So I think for him it was just like, yo, like either you like, if you stay on the brand, I know you're gonna be working against me and my vision. So make your decision now. I think that's how I play out in my mind as we're going through the show. But yeah, I really like the dynamic. I like Heyman with them. I like Seth. I like, and it was serious Seth.
Serious
Seth. It was serious Seth, and I liked how he's kind of portraying his character. Right, he's trying to act like he's this caring guy and bringing up all these emotional things that he and Sami have been through, just to utterly give him a curb stomp at the end of the night, right? I like Braun, like, being that menacing upstart, like, right? And it seems like that's what they're doing. Is that, all right, look, it's almost like an evolution. Like, Seth is the now, and then they're building Braun for the future, right? I like that. I like that, Paul Heyman is in the background doing the puppeteering. So I love what they're doing. I'm very interested in seeing additions. I'm assuming there's going to be an addition. And I know we mentioned it last week. I had something, a better epiphany today, and that was Braun. What Braun was this one? Bronson Reed. I had to think of his name. I'm not sure how far away he's back. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure how far away he is. Bring Bronson into the group. Because you think about it, you had Braun, black suit. Reed likes to wear his black suits too. That'll be having one on the left, one on the right, Heyman in the back. I think that would be a very formidable group.
I didn't think about Bronson only because he is out. I think he is out for still a little bit of time, but of course I don't know that information. I haven't looked it up, but I think he's still out for some time. But I can see that. I can see the key is, I feel like with that group, you don't necessarily, unless it's like a Becky Lynch, I don't think you necessarily need another veteran on the team. If I'm just thinking really quickly, I think you have Paulie, you have Seth. I think that is your veteran lineage that you have right there, and everybody else can be the tomorrow. Like you said, today is the now, and then the tomorrow. So I can see that. I can see that 100%.
Yeah,
but
definitely. You know, Seth's gonna be like kind of leading the new young lions and his own vision of what wrestling should be.
So I could see that. What was I going to say? There was one thing about my concern with Braun when he dropped the title, because remember, we all was like, we don't care who was going to win that match at Mania, because whoever won, I think we all would have been excited for. My thing was, just don't do Braun dirty after the fact, because to me, I thought that he had actually brought some excitement to the title. So for me, I'm actually satisfied with what they have Braun doing. Even though he's not number one, Seth is number one kind of in their group. I am okay with what Braun is doing after his championship.
Yeah, they're setting them up for the future. Another big thing I really enjoy. I actually like most of Raw.
I do too.
But I like the Becky Lynch segment. Lyra Valkyria, you see that?
Yep, I did. I actually like the kind of both of them going back and forth with each other. Lyra was just like, I don't even understand why you did all of this. Like, I can appreciate that they gave Lyra a chance to talk in the ring. And I'm saying this because it's probably always been this way, but I've just been so damaged by Tiff and Charlotte that I've always been kind of scared now since then, and I've paid an extra attention to it. But I was happy to kind of see both of them going. I think Becky in-ring promo was pretty good. I think the moment when she said, you don't have, or we can go back and look at tape. You don't need to look back at tape. I think if she would have let that simmer just a tiny bit longer and said, I did it, then maybe it'd hit a little bit better for me. But overall, yeah, I still give that a good promo. I do.
Yeah. I like what she did with her heel promo. I mean, she kind of came off very heelish and unlikable, right? But not like in a Charlotte Flair type of way, which I appreciated. I thought she did really good. I gotta tell you, sis, I don't know what it is about Lyra.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't know what it is about her.
Don't do
like
that.
So Katrina don't listen to the show anyway, so it don't matter. But I got a little crush on that girl. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's a good thing.
Yeah, she came out. I was just like, wow.
I love Lyra.
It looked like she had her little skirt, short thing. I used to love a girl used to wear that back in the day. It looked like a skirt in the front, but it's like shorts in the back, whatever.
Yeah. The squirts.
That was a good look.
They were called squirts. Squirts, yeah.
Wait,
not squirts. Squirts. Okay, let me stop right now.
Hey, listen now.
A skort. There we go. But I was happy. I was happy that they were able to have kind of their one-on-one, and we didn't have to wait like a whole nother week, which we shouldn't have. But I'm glad they were able to have that right away.
And then when we talked about the Women's IC Championship, I was like, you know what? They need to have a bigger wrestler, kind of make that title seem important. I think that's where they're going now, right? They're gonna have, like, the two of them are gonna have a match soon. I'm assuming that Becky is gonna win that match and she's gonna hold that title. And I think that title, with her holding it and defending it, will make it much more important than what it's currently as. Like I told you, I think that woman is beautiful. But her as champion is just a hitting. Maybe this will kind of be something that can jumpstart her as well, because I thought her verbiage and her back and forth with Becky was really good. I liked her physicality with Becky. I think overall that segment was just A+ from both characters, because I think that Becky also did a good job with Lyra, that she didn't step on her. Like, right, one of the things we saw was Tiffany Stratton, right? And Charlotte stepped
See,
on
you
her.
knew Trish. She said Trish.
And Charlotte, she stepped on her a lot. Like, right, she stepped on her an awful lot during the entire exchange. We didn't see that on Raw. So both of them came out looking really good. Becky as heel, and then I thought we saw a lot of fire from Lyra in the overall segment.
I agree. I know that they have actually announced that for Backlash. So the title will be put up That would be the prize between Miss Lyra Valkyrie, the bird lady, as y'all call her, and Miss Becky Lynch for
I'm
Backlash.
calling her pretty lady. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I like Backlash. We call her pretty lady. Let's do that. We veto and call it pretty lady. You have anything else on that?
Not on that segment. I mean, there's a lot of women action on this Raw. Like, right? I mean, just real quick. I mean, we had a match with Roxanne Perez and Rhea Ripley. I thought it was a good match.
Roxanne
another great
deserves
show
to be
on
up
Roxanne.
there. Roxanne needs to be permanently, and she can be, because after that NXT when she lost, this is now her first match after that, and she's on the main roster, so she should be now a permanent fixture on the main roster.
Well, she will be very soon. Yeah.
And that match showed it. That girl good. Remember Coming to America? That boy good. That boy good. That girl good. Girl good.
Speaking of also good, man, Rhea Ripley, what the fuck is going on with her org? It's like amazing. Like she just comes out and it's just like too much. You know what I'm saying? Like she's just, I don't know what it is about her, but she just has like this charisma that's just like overpowering, man. Like I can't think of another wrestler period that has it like she has it. It's crazy.
I was thinking a lot about that recently. And I know a lot of my views on Rhea is because even just in the NXT days, even knowing her as the blonde hair girl next door, Rhea Ripley, I think her thing, and I'm not saying timing is the only reason why she's big, because hell no, I'm not saying that. But she's in a time where dominant women are looked at as a good thing. Where, again, this is me saying this coming from a woman perspective. A lot of times in the past, you have a strong woman who's maybe not small, petite. You got a who's size up with some dudes, and y'all would, not you, but y'all wouldn't say, oh, she's too manly or she's too blank. I think now that as time is getting older and we're starting to truly be honest with ourselves of what we like intimately, what we just like to look at, and we're being more honest about it, she's clicking on them cylinders. She's beautiful with and without makeup on. She's strong. And she can wrestle. So when you put all those together, and of course it doesn't make it any harder that what she wears. And again, I'm not going to put her out there like that, because I don't think that's her at all. She's not getting over because she has her booty cheeks out. That's not it. Or her booty belts.
Let's just go ahead and say I'm not drinking. But you guys look. I mean, they rising up more and more every week. Them cheeks, more and more is coming out. Yeah, it's more and more is coming up. But she got more to her than that, right? As you're saying, it's more to her than that.
And I think people are being honest. Like, wow, like I'm not intimidated by a strong woman, and we never should have ever been intimidated by a strong woman. And I think this is just like the time and a day of age where we're starting to get to the point of, let's just be honest let's pull back all of these labels and layers, and what is it that we really like? And again, she can go in the ring. And
you know what? Another thing about her though, she's very muscular, of course, right? But she's powerful, as you said, and dominant, as you said. But she's very feminine too. It's like she has a perfect mix of like strong, dominant, but also very, very feminine. Because like the way she moves, a lot of her mannerisms. It's like, man, it's like I just watching her. I'm like, man, she just on another level.
Yep. Again, she's transcending wrestling, and again, you're almost not saying she's a woman wrestler. She is a professional wrestler, and every word meaning of that. So that was a super great match. Matches for Backlash, because they announced a lot. How do you feel about Gunther and Pat McAfee? Now that it's been announced, Pat McAfee goes on. Oh my God. I don't know if I sent it into our group message or if I just sent it to Matt. I'm like, oh,
hey, I didn't tell me if you did.
I was like, y'all friends. I was like, your friends don't have the same legacy as you do. Talking about McAfee. So he goes on this whole diatribe talking about he want to leave this legacy behind of being inclusive, wanting to be able to help those less fortunate, and blah, blah, blah. Now, again, I'm feeling all the goosies. I'm feeling all the vibes. And I wanted to at him on Twitter, like, but your friends don't feel that same way. I digress. But he goes on this whole thing and he said, hey, the number one thing about me is I'm loyal. I'm going to represent for my boy. And because you messing with Michael Cole, I will always defend him. And he's like, and like the bitch you are, the moment I turn my back, you go and jump me. So now the match is official. It is Pat McAfee and Gunther at Backlash. Outside of a crazy gimmick, do you think that this match is going to have any kind of substance to it at all?
Well, right before I answer that question, his promo was something else. Like that man
I
was
loved
out there cutting like a MLK like promo. At first, I was like, "Where's this man going for a minute?" Like, right?
promo.
Like, what's he doing? Like right now, I'm like, like, and then he started cussing at the end. The promo was it like another person who has it, or is definitely Pat, right? I'll answer the question. Pat can wrestle. Like this NXT matches were surprisingly pretty good. I think he wrestled maybe 2 or 3 times or something of that nature, and each time it was actually pretty good. So I think that we're probably going to get a better match than we expect.
So you think it was some substance? Okay, substance. Okay.
Yeah, I think Gunther is Gunther. Pat has shown in the past that he can go in the ring. Surprisingly so. Like right, because like his first match, I think a lot of people were surprised that he can go. Now again, this was like 5 years ago.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure that I think he has a ring at his crib or
at his work or something like that.
Something,
for the
yeah.
show
So
or
I'm
something.
sure
Yep.
he's going to be in there trying to work out the kinks. But I think the match should be decent.
Yeah, I'm not expecting much out of the match at all. And again, I haven't settled in my head how do I feel about your previous world champion being in this match. I don't know. I haven't processed that yet. Kind of like what you said, life is life in right now, so I haven't had enough time to think about what I feel about that. But I don't expect nothing really out of that match at all.
Yeah. I think it has some steam behind it, though. I think they'll keep building some steam to it and kind of gives Gunther a chance. What do you think about Logan Paul and Jey Uso?
I didn't put that on my notes because this is completely my own personal feelings. I don't want Logan Paul anywhere near that championship title, especially now that Jey Uso has it. I can say on paper, I get it. He was a champion of the IC or the US championship for a long time. He brought it on his shows and he probably brought some eyeballs to the product. Who knows? But then now you're going after Jade. To me, it's not deserving. To me, I don't like the guy. And it's not like I don't like so I can boo. It's just like, I just don't really like you. So I'm not going to do anything. And that's probably the worst that it needs to be. I actually forged that from my mind that he's actually going after Jade. He jumped him like hardcore too, I think. Didn't he? In the backstage, didn't he?
Yeah, Jay came out there to, give Sami some kind words. And I thought something was gonna happen to him. They was sticking to his face a little bit too long. He leaned in a little, all of a sudden, bam! Logan Paul hit him with that jab.
Yeah, I'm over it. I don't want him anywhere near it. That's all. That's all I can say. I just don't like the guy. So that's just. Let me be objective here. Maybe outside of last WrestleMania, because my mind and my attention was toward other things. Besides that, and again, he went against kind of ice cold AJ Styles. Let's be honest. At the time, ice cold. He's still ice cold now, but you get what I mean by that. Besides that, I have always been fully entertained and impressed with Logan Paul and his matches. So I'm gonna be objective there and say that. But again, I don't like the guy. So stay far away from Jey Uso, please.
Hey, I have one more thing before we leave. I do want to bring up Stephanie. Bakure. Am I saying her name right?
Bakure.
Bakure. I wrote a little bit. Bakure. I can't. I don't know. I'm not gonna try. No, I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Stephanie.
Talk about Aura. She got it too. And I had concern on her learning curve for the English language and how she would be able to connect to an English audience. I know she can go in the ring. Man, she's got to come out there and look the way she looked. Like, right? She can speak English. Actually, if you listen to her interviews, she's picked up English pretty quickly. She can actually, hold an entire interview pretty much in English, and you can understand exactly what she's trying to say and what she's trying to get across. I would imagine she's going to continue to get better. The one thing I wonder, like with Andrade, for instance, like, right? he can speak very good English too, but his accent is so thick it makes it hard for people to understand him. They have like one of those coaches. It's escaped my mind what they're called now. But they're coaches that kind of help you enunciate and when you speak, especially people with accents. I wonder why they just don't hire those coaches for those wrestlers just to make them sound a little bit more articulate when they're out there cutting these promos. But beyond that, like Stephanie can just come out there and just stand in the middle of the ring, and you talk about aura, she got it, man. Because this is something like, first of all, she can go in the ring. The crowd's already behind her little knees of death or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And like it's actually I don't know exactly what it is. It's a sight to see though.
It's a pound.
You know
it's a pound is what I call it.
And they doing us dirty because they don't show you the right angle. Like, right? I'm just gonna leave it at that. They do us dirty. They intentionally don't give us the right angle.
You gotta go live and go watch that live and in person.
That might be worth going. Yeah. God damn it. And and real quick, right before you go, that's why Charlotte Flair got booed, right? Because Charlotte was doing it honestly before Steph. Yeah. But when she started doing
that's not fair.
They started booing. They like, no.
We don't want you back there, huh?
Don't you dare.
That's messed up.
No, you not.
You booty shaming Charlotte. No, for real. I mean, she makes real quick about the accents. Andrade is from Mexico, where Stephanie is from Chile. I would only imagine those in Chile, since it's South America, they are used to so many different languages, whether it's Portuguese, whether it's Spanish, whether it's English, whether it's French. I think maybe she may have the ability to enunciate a little bit better. Whereas maybe in Mexico, maybe it is just it's just Spanish. Like Mexican Spanish, like Spanish in South America Spanish, and United States English. So I think maybe that could have something to do with it. Because, for instance, I'm working with somebody who's from Brazil, and she's able to go into 4 or 5 different languages with their accent easier. And I think it's just because where they're at in the region of the world, it's easier for them. Don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying that. Stephanie Vaquer absolutely has more jiggle in her booty. So when she come out there and she does the knees of death, it's exciting, for damn sure. And again, Aura, she comes out like this devil almost.
Yeah.
And there's something that's taboo about demons, Satan, and all that kind of stuff. So I think that adds to it. So
it's like the little, she has like this smile too, like like that emoji.
Smirk, yeah.
Yeah, she has that emoji.
It's like that.
Yeah.
It's like a sexy smirk, like a devilish smirk. And this is what I was saying. And this is the exact reason why I was not a huge fan of Julia, because when they both debuted, Stephanie's aura just outshined Julia's. So to me, that's why I'm just now able to come aboard on saying, okay, Julia is somebody I can get behind, because from her to Stephanie, and then Stephanie, the way she wrestles hard. Every single punch, every single grapple, even the grapple is intense. She reminds me a lot of Daniel Bryan, and that, yeah, exactly. That's what I like in that style of wrestling. That's it. I do have one last thing on Raw, and we're past 30 minutes, which sucks. But I do have.
Hey, we got a whole another hour to go. We can go.
No, we don't. I got one last thing.
I got more notes.
No,
more notes.
Burn them notes. Throw them notes away. I have just one last thing that we should mention. So now that we see your boy is now going to deliver them from evil and kill out all the enhancement talent, what did you think about the Rusev promo package? Did you get to see it first off? Did you get to see him saying?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I actually forgot about it until you just brought it up. I liked it. I liked it. Because, it had the same tone and delivery that he was doing with the Redeemer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so when I actually listened to the promo, he actually almost kind of spoke to that.
Yeah. You think? When he said he was in the abyss?
Yeah, he spoke to that. He said he was in the abyss. He said he was in the abyss. And he found himself.
Disrespectful. That was
right?
rude.
And that's true. He did. He found his voice. He found a character. Right? Now, the verbiage is different. Right? He's not talking about his holy Lord or whatever, but the cadence and the style of conversation and promo, that character is there. I liked it, man. Like I liked it. I actually liked his segment a little bit more than it's Aleister Black now, right? Like we skipped right past it on SmackDown. Seeing Aleister Black debut. I actually like Rusev's promo better than the Black debut a little bit, but I'm still excited for Black either way. But yeah, I like Rusev. All right, guys. All right, okay. I thought I was about to wrap up. I'm like, I think we lost her.
Yeah.
But I think that's the sign. I think we gave you guys a hot 45 minutes of conversation. To be honest with y'all, we gonna pull the curtains back. I told Rhea, like, look, I got like 3 things on this thing. I don't remember any wrestling. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. I'm like, let's just get online and we talk. We did for 45 minutes. Yep. I think we did it. I think that the freaks are gonna say that the brother and sister combo did a good job. Sister, good job to you. Continue to have fun today. You got anything before we sign off?
That's the hope. Hopefully, they're still downstairs at the bar. We'll see. We'll see when I get down there. I did go out. The only thing I would say real quick about Rusev is, again, I still feel like we're Rusev, but I'm happy that he has now made a lane for himself of, I am going to pretty much kill that enhancement talent to build them back up. Kind of almost like what Karrion Kross is doing, but probably what Karrion Kross is doing more diabolical mentally, Rusev is probably going to do physically. So I'm happy that he came and he kind of paved his own, at least forecasts his own path. So now we know that at least he's not going to be kind of an afterthought. But other than that, I think that this was probably the best 47 minutes of anybody who's listening or watching probably of their life.
Hell yeah,
if I'm being humble about it, I think this is probably some of the best stuff they got.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm about to show you what my whips look like. I'm about to show you my cribs. Shout out to my boy Ray J.
Yep. Shout out to Detroit Pistons. Team.
Shout out to Detroit Pistons. I hope we get this win tomorrow because we can't go down 3-1. No. But yo,
3-2.
Please
4-2.
Follow us on X. We on the YouTube. That's Freakin Wrestling. Type it into the search engine. You will find us. Please like and subscribe. Comment, please. Matt is on there talking quite often. I try to get on there as much as I can too to kind of interact with everybody. We actually got a nice little chat on there, man. Shouts out to everybody on the chat. We continue to like, subscribe, spread the love, spread the word. We are no longer the best kept secret. We're trying to get to that 1,000 mark on subs. I feel like we should be there by now.
We should have been there.
We need to be there, man. Let's get there, everybody. Like, hook us up. Like, subscribe, spread the word, spread the love. Get That's Freakin Wrestling podcast in your house. We are out, everybody. Love, peace, hair, and air grease.
Before
What's
we
air
go
grease?
out,
We don't know.
I don't know what air grease is, but hold on. I got to shout out my baby. My baby at home sick. I say he has COVID. Told him to take a test. He won't take a test.
Which one?
My husband baby, Matt.
Okay.
Our third party. My son, Matthew, he ain't my baby no more. He's too old. He a grown-ass man. He towers over me and his daddy. So he ain't my baby no more. He's just my kiddo. But my baby, he tried to come on here, and he really did. But homeboy is sick. I think with the COVID, with the vid. Luckily, I'm not there to catch it. And I love you. I miss you. I wish I could have saw your face tonight. Instead, I gotta look at Eshaun.
I feel like she's getting drunker by the minute.
But shout out to Matt. We missed you. But I still feel like this is the best now 49 minutes of anybody's life who has actually listened or watched this show. That's my opinion.
And also, please subscribe and let my son know that I am the big daddy. And there are no daddies bigger than me. Peace, y'all. We love you.